Welcome back, Ranger Nation, to another Raw review. And as you can tell, we're Raw reviewing the Turbo Megazord. So, a quick look at the box first. And then we will do our various combinations. Well, not combination. We're going to be looking at this as an individual first and foremost. So, Box Cutter Ranger comes out again. We open our side panel, slide this out, put that box off to the side, and here we've got the deluxe Turbo Falcon Megazord. So we've got the two wings there at the bottom. Box Cutter Ranger, you're needed once again. I think Box Cutter Ranger would be wise to me for this, so let me get Scissors Ranger. Be right back. Back with Scissors Ranger, so we'll just get in there to where the little plastic string is. We'll cut it free onto everything. First we've got the RPM key. Take out the base plate there. The hand. Scissors Ranger needs to go in here again. And release some more things that are tied up. And I believe there's someone at my front door, so hold on a moment. Hold on a moment. And we are back, and of course, once you've gotten all these things disconnected from their various enclosures and their various pieces of plastic that secure them, we can finally begin the review. So let's take a look at the parts that make up the Turbo Falcon Megazord. And of course it comes with the RPM red key. Get in gear. So we'll take a look at that. RPM. Here we've got all the various parts and pieces that make up the Zord. And of course we're going to need the instruction manual probably. Let's get that out. So of course, as we know, it's got three modes: robot mode, car mode, and well, I guess really just that. Robot mode, car mode, and then there's the combinations. So we'll first look at robot mode, shall we? It is going to start off with our two base pieces, which are these legs. But as you can see, I have Zord Builder ports here. Tilt the camera up just a tad. Well, maybe not Zord Builder, just regular pegs, so not Zord Builder pegs, which is kind of a bummer. Okay, So we've got the bottom built. We have got the hand here, which has two Zord Builder ports which plug right into here, giving us a nice sturdy connection. Move the camera back a tad. Then we have got the wheel assembly here. And the way they want you to use the wheel assembly, I'm going to take these side pieces off first. So the way they want you to use the wheel assembly is place it here. There are a couple of little tab pegs here, a couple of pegs inside the hand. You're trying to line them up, get the pegging nice and tight. And there you go. Next part is to take these units here, and as you saw, they go actually onto the sides, basically becoming the arms. And there are Zord Builder ports right in there. And of course I popped it out of the assembly trying to show you Zord Builder ports. So that connects into there. Here's the head, little tiny little thing. What you want to do is after you've connected those pieces, connect the head there. You connect this onto the front. It's a little tricky, but you can see there's a little tiny notch here in the hand. You want to line that up with a tiny little notch here. Put the head back in. I'll leave the head out for now. Then you have these little pieces, which can clip right into the sides here. Not as easy as it looks, actually. This is actually a pretty complicated transformation for the Megazord mode. I will not lie, it's a pretty complicated transformation for the Megazord mode. That's how they go. So I can actually find how to get them to stick in there. See, the instructions show them actually being kind of up here. And the tricky part is actually finding a way to get them to stand up there. So I'm just going to leave them like that. Because actually finding a way to get them to clip in is proving to be more difficult than it should be for all intents and purposes. And it's supposed to clip here. Problem is that it's not that easy to get to clip in there. it's actually incredibly difficult to find a way for them to actually fit in here and work. It's kind of annoying, especially considering for something that's marketed for kids. But needless to say, these are supposed to be for kids, and it's hard for an adult to get them to work, so Bandai fail. Yeah, I'm going to pause the video and see if I can get these to work and then come back to you. And we're back. The best I could find is have them just sit in here. They do actually sit in there, but they don't lock in. And even though this comes in Megazord mode in the box, these things are just hanging out there. They aren't actually part of it in Megazord mode. And of course, we have the face that we can just open up. And there we have the Megazord. Pull these loose pieces off and go over the articulation. 360 rotation of the arms. Head has no articulation aside from closing the crest. There is no torso articulation. Legs can go up, but that might break the transformation as you just saw. And in fact, probably will. And that's really about it. It's got very limited articulation in Megazord mode. You can pretty much just stand there. So let's disassemble it, and I'll show you it in car mode. Obviously, the first thing we want to do is close up those little leg ports, snap it together, and we've already got a good degree of our car put together. Then we're going to want to build our nose cone. So how do you build a nose cone? Like a soul. This is really soft plastic, the rest is pretty good quality plastic. And there's a color difference, but it also matches with the tip here, which is also the same soft plastic. So, whatever. The hand here, that's a nice hand actually. I'm going to give them points for that. I love the molding of the hand. Spin her around. So now we've got the back portion done. Got the exhaust on there. There are two Zord Builder ports you have to fold out from in here, which for someone even without fingernails can do. So there's nice good clearance there. Snap this on. Assuming you don't get the Zord Builder ports to fold back in, which I just did. Alright, that's not working for me. So I'm going to actually do it a little bit differently. Since these are both in two different parts, I'm just going to snap that apart. Stupid Zord Builder port, stop being an arse. There, finally, one piece is in. Half our car is assembled. Other half of our car is assembled. Snap the two halves together. Put the exhaust back on. These are our term. So we'll stick our spoilers on the back. Stick that in there, even though you probably don't need to. Here's our bottom wheel assembly. Connect it right. Now it might be a bit hard to see, but there's a little clip here and a little clip in here. We're going to try and line them up. Snap it on. That just leaves one last piece of the assembly, which is the crest here. And the crest goes, I have absolutely no idea. The instructions are kind of obtuse at times. There we go. Now I've got it in the right place. And that serves as our windshield for the key to sit in. Yes, we can actually put a key in here. Any key. So why not put RPM red in here? Let him get in gear. Because there is an actual key chamber in here. Seal him down. Fun fact though, even though the key's got a spring because of the way this is designed, it still stays in there. It doesn't flip all the way up. It locks him pretty well. Lock that down. And that just leaves figuring out what the heck to do with this thing. The spoiler, or the crest. And for the life of me, I cannot find where this crest goes. It's quite obtuse. Yeah, it doesn't even show the crest being used anywhere in the instructions for vehicle mode. Unless I'm completely blind, which is completely possible. Interestingly, the instructions say that this thing has lights and sounds, even though there's no, no, it just has sounds, but there's actually no battery compartment, so the only sound you can get is that, the sound of the wheels grinding. Or yeah, so I suppose these wheels might count as a sound. Come on, open it. Because they only make a noise when you have a key in there. But they don't seem to do anything. They don't seem to be attached to anything. They don't seem to find any mechanical use. So it's like an aborted feature. Which is always fun. Aborted features in our Megazords. So you can actually get those things to actually fire off. They don't control the wheels because the wheels are completely freewheeled. So it's an aborted feature that was never actually used. There's no additional stuff. You can't pull these open. But given all that, I'd still say if you just want something for its own uses, its own merits, as the actual toy here, you don't care about its transformations, we'll cover, again, transformations on Megazords are always a separate video. Go for it. This is a great little race car. And I have no complaints over its race car abilities. So, yeah, if you want it as just the Zord itself, you don't care about its combinations, or, well, if you don't care about its combinations, then this is perfectly fine and good. It's nicely made. It's got a lot of functionalities. Obviously, it doesn't have all the functionalities the Japanese ones did because it's a lot cheaper. I'd say go for it. There's no reason not to get it. unless you are really a stickler for transformations, and we'll cover the transformations in a separate video. See you next time.